Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everybody's keeping really well and safe. Now today guys, this is a bit of a part 2 of me rearranging and going through all of my aloes, gasterias and haworthias here in the polytunnel. And yesterday's video I took them all off what they used to be on that shelf there, all onto the floor. And I've been going through them all, pruning them and checking for bugs and removing dead leaves and all the usual things that you do at this time of year. Now it's spring. And if you didn't see that yesterday's video, do check the video out. Links will be up above. And this is part 2, where they've all been now, all the dead leaves, or as many of the dead leaves as I can, trimmed off them, and they're looking a lot more tidier and neater. And now I'm going to be putting them here onto this stand here, and I've got some that was already on the bottom there. And as I say, this is the majority of my aloes, gasterias and haworthias. I have a couple more aloes over here that I think I'm going to keep because they're sort of happy there. That's my aloe javena and my other big aloe there, and I've got another little one hiding underneath there, so I'll probably keep them there, but I'm not quite sure. Might have a bit of a move around again over the next few weeks now spring's here. But I'm going to be dealing with what's all on here today, and these are 2 very big aloes there. And what I might do is going to start off by probably getting them all into size order first, because I'm going to be putting sort of like the largest ones in the biggest bowls and things like that at the top, and then the very tall ones such as this aloe arborescens and some of the tall ones here I might put down here with the other 2 large ones. Not quite sure, but that's what this video is going to be about today, rearranging and putting them all onto the plant shelves. And what I'm going to do first of all is group them all pretty much in size order, and then show you what they look like when they're all grouped together. Now there you go. What I've done then is I've put them into some type of sort of group order with obviously there's some agaves, aloes and gasterias mixed up, but they're more or less in size order and more or less all together. That's all the agaves there, and the majority of the gasterias there, and haworthias there, and the aloe, I should say, sorry, the haworthias there, and the aloes here as well, as you can see. And then I have some agaves, very large ones, under the table here. But these ones normally go out into the yard in the as soon as the chance of frost has gone, so they'll be going back into the yard. So they're going to stay there for now. And as I've got them all in group order, I shall start with then probably putting the ones in the sort of the rounder sort of bowls up onto the top, because obviously I'm restricted with height here with the roof of the polytunnel, and then work my way around. These ones were already on the bottom anyway. These aloes here, aloes that these I've grown myself from seed also, and this one is a gasteria there that I've had for absolutely years. One of the first plants I ever had, I think. It's many years old anyway. And I'm going to start now with the top shelf and show you what it looks like when I've done the top shelf. Now that's the first shelf done. I've got a mixture of haworthia and agave here, and aloes as well, and my variegated gasteria. So a mixture of all 3 there, but sort of the ones that sort of pretty much go well together on the top. And now I'm going to show you what I'm going to be putting on the second shelf. Ooh, that's the second and half of the third shelf done. I decided to put this little one here there, and this is a second shelf, as I say, mixture of aloes at the back, and some of the agaves over here, and some of the haworthias there too. Mixture of all different sort of shapes and sizes, and as you can see, lots of space around them, so when they do grow, hopefully a lot this year, there's still going to be plenty of space for them. And obviously some of them I'm going to be potting on throughout this year as well, changing the soils and putting into bigger pots. And I put my aloe variegatas all together there, and I've managed to put the little, so don't damage the flower coming through there, so it's still okay. And this one here I've sort of tied up to a little pole there so it doesn't fall over. So I've just got these here, and this one I think I may keep there anyway, but I'm not quite sure. And just a few of the gasterias there as well. And these here, which are going to be now rearranging. As I say, I've got this space here on the floor and also these 2 shelves as well. So that's the first 2.5 shelves done. The bottom one I'm going to keep as it is because it's pretty much okay. I'm going to show you then what it looks like when the 3rd shelf is done. That's it, almost done, nearly finished the 3rd shelf there. And this is just what I've got left here. And one thing I'm going to do, these are the Adromycius, and they're a succulent, a lovely fleshy succulent. And I sort of normally keep them with all the Aloes and Gasterias and Haworthias because they're sort of similar looking. But in this case, I think I'm going to put these with the succulents. And as I say, it's a mixture of succulents all there. And what I'm probably going to do tomorrow is the next step then, once the Aloes, Agaves and Haworthias and Gasterias are all done, I'm going to then start on this side here. And I'll show, this is the other load of succulents I've got. I've also got some still overwintering upstairs in my office, mainly sort of echeverias and things like that. So probably be able to bring them down also in the next week or 2. But what I'm going to do, I think, tomorrow is start on this table here. And I originally was going to sort of put all the Crassula jade plants together and all the echeverias together, all the aeniums. But because they're all so many different sizes, I'm going to be pruning them back over the coming weeks as well. I think for now, I'm just going to get them all onto the floor like I did with all of the agaves and aloes and everything, and then put them sort of into some type of size order and just mix them up for now and put the tallest at the back. Obviously things like these big jades here are too heavy to go onto a plant stand like this, so I'm probably going to put all the smaller growing succulents all on this plant stand here, and then put all of the larger growing succulents all onto this table. Not quite sure, but stay tuned. I'll probably get that video up probably, if not tomorrow, depending on the weather. It'll be the next day after. But nearly done here, as I say. So the Adromycius are probably going to be going onto this as well. And then this is just what I've got left. Now what I've done, these are actually Dickeas Fosterianas, and they look very agave-like, but they're not. They're actually a Tillandsia, and those of you who want to know what a Tillandsia is, they're part of the Tillandsia family, which covers the air plants and also like bromeliads and everything like that. But because these do look very agave-like, I'm going to actually be putting these here, I think, because they look similar, and there's plenty of space now anyway, and then just take them off from there where I had them and put them here. So nearly done, guys, so bear with me, just going to finish off. Now guys, I just want to mention this is called Aloe Black Spot. This is one of my Aloe arborescens that I've grown myself from seed, and a few people often say to me they'd get black spots on their aloes, and it can be down to many things. I have made a separate video on aloe black spots and what it is and what to do and the causes and things like that. It can be down to many things, but personally, whatever it's down to, it is a bit of a mystery. No one knows, not even the growing experts. But personally, in my experience, I've had it, I should say, on a few of my aloes in the past. I think this is the only one I've really got left on it. They seem to outgrow it, so it's definitely not in my experience anyway, a killer for your plants. It just is more of an aesthetic problem. And I personally think it's down to too much humidity and low temperatures in the winter. Aloes, Aloe arborescens, which is what this one is here, can take really low temperatures in winter if they're kept dry. Obviously they can't take frost, but my polytunnel here, our polytunnel is kept at a minimum of 5 degrees Celsius throughout the winter months, so it never drops dangerously low. I actually keep all the aloes dry, as I mentioned in yesterday's video. As you can see, that's why they're looking like prunes. And other than this one here, Honzi's very large aloe vera that he's had for absolutely years, this seems to have got through the winter without even needing the slightest bit of a drink now, but I'm going to water them all anyway. But this is how they go when they are sort of desperate for a drink. They sort of go a little bit pencil-like with the leaves, where as soon as you water them, they plump pretty much up again. I prefer to keep them all dry because they withstand colder temperatures and certainly withstand the more humidity that we get here in Ireland and the UK more than they would if they were watered. And I think the combination of high humidity and cold temperatures causes these little black spots. Some people say it's a fungus, some people say it's a virus, some people say it's this and that. Personally, I find it's down to the humidity, because when I've grown aloes in the past, before I had the polytunnel and before I ever had a greenhouse and things like that, I used to have them indoors. I never ever experienced it. But since when I first had the greenhouse when I was in my early 20s, and I sort of overwintered them outside again, and certainly since I've had the polytunnel here, I think it's down to humidity. I think if they were kept at the same temperature without the humidity problems that we get here in Ireland and the UK in the winter, I don't think we'd get them. But as I say, in the past I've panicked when I've seen this on my aloes and cut all the leaves off, and then all the new growth grows back okay. But now I just leave it, and the plants, it never ever spreads to any of my other aloes, so I don't think it's a virus. And I personally, it doesn't hurt the plant. This is all the new growth. This is all from last year, by the way. And this is the new growth coming through. And then over time, this will just carry on growing. These leaves will die back as normal. And it just recovers. But as I mentioned more in that video on aloe black spot, what it is and things like that. So do watch that, because this seems to be very, very common on aloes. I know some people get it on Gasterias, or Gasteria black spot. I've had that on my Gasterias also. Actually, I've even had it when they've been in the house in the winter. So maybe it's not, I just don't know what it is. But I think with the aloes it's humidity. But as I say, if you have this on your aloes or Gasterias, where you come and see these spots on, they seem to outgrow it, and maybe it's just something that's in the plant that's always going to be there, and it outgrows it and comes back again. But as I say, my experience, once it's gone, it outgrows it, and this is the new growth here. So just to let you know, because it's such a common thing, and I did do a video probably about maybe a year or 2 years ago on it, and it may be interesting for you if you want to watch it. Links up above. Woohoo, that's it all done, guys. That is the aloes, Gasterias, Haworthias and the agaves all put away, and I have to say it looks so much better than what it was. And I put some of the bigger ones here on the floor with the other big ones there. And as I say, the only agaves we've got now are these 3 big ones under there, but they always go out into the yard once the chance of frost has gone. So probably in the next few weeks they'll be able to go back into the yard. And all these are going to stay here now for the spring and summer. And happy to say, great job done. All being dead leaves took off, checked for pests, and all I have to do now is give them all a good watering, first real good watering of the year with tomato feed, because I've mentioned a few videos that I love to use tomato fertiliser with my cacti and succulents. And I do use normal cactus and succulent fertiliser as well, but I like to start them off with a good tomato feed, because the high potassium helps to promote flowering. And as I say, a lot of these, some of my aloes and Haworthias nectar sort of flower sometimes all through the year, not necessarily just spring or summer. But I do find it does help to give them a bit of a boost, and I use a tomato fertiliser at half the strength. So good little tip there. I've mentioned a few times on why I like to use it on my cacti and succulents, so do check a video I've made on why I like to use tomato fertiliser to fertilise my cacti and succulents. Links also up above. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a rearranging and pruning and all the rest of it. And stay tuned, probably in the next couple of days. I'll probably do it the day after tomorrow, where I'm going to be taking all these succulents off this table here and the ones on there, and then I'm going to be completely rearranging this table here and the stand there, so it just looks a bit more aesthetically pleasing in the meanwhile. And going to share it all with you guys. And if you want to know a little bit more on how to grow cacti and succulents, then please do check out my website, desertplantsofavalon.com. And also if you want to know how to care and grow for aloe, then links also up above to a video I've made on how to care for aloe. And if you want to know how to care for Gasteria as well, links also up above to a video I've made on how to care for and grow Gasteria plants. And also aloes and Gasterias and Haworthias, they tend to be a little bit different when you're repotting them. A lot of them have very fleshy roots, and sometimes you have to prune back these roots because the roots die back and new ones keep growing. That's only my experience, and I've made a special video on repotting this particular group of plants. So do check that video out if you need to repot yours this year. Links to that video up above. And also going to be repotting quite a few of these over the spring and the summer. When I do, I'll share quite a few repotting videos with you all. And going to be good fun because I want to go through them all. Some of them are going to be staying in the same pots, just changing the soil over. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye. Bye from all the seagulls.